Are you the one they call MeganBob?
Just MeganBob, thank you. And you are... Daddy?
What now?
What?
What did you just say?
I said, you were the one who brought me to this small, dim room lit ominously by only a single ambiguous light source?
Correct. I am a seeker of the Orlesian Chantry.
And just what are you seeking?
You know exactly why I'm here. Time to start talking, podcaster. They tell me you're good at it.
Ah, I see. Your precious chantry has suddenly become overcome by horny feelings, and you're looking for answers.
Your podcast was at the heart of it when it all began. I want to know everything. Start at the beginning.
You're not worried I'll just make it up as I go?
Not at all.
Then you'll need to hear the whole story. It was a warm summer's evening. I had just sat down to record Hard Choices with 3 of my friends.
Hard what?
Boy, didn't do a lot of seeking before you came looking for me, did you? Hard Choices, the podcast where we rank the fuckability of characters from a fictional universe and see what lies at the throbbing heart of horniness.
Ah, I see. And I presume this involves finding the median, zenith, and nadir of fuckability?
That's just on the surface. In reality, it's more about the many, many warriors, mages, and rogues we fucked along the way. On this particular evening, we sat down to talk about the characters from the Dragon Age series of video games. If you close your eyes, you might be able to imagine the opening theme song playing right now. I was there, of course, the host, MeganBob. Joining me over mugs of Ferelden Lager and Starkhaven fish and egg pie were the Elven Ranger Annie Craton.
I too have licked lampposts in winter.
The best nug in Thedas, Kit Mulkerin.
I believe Vivienne said it best when she said, a leash can be pulled from either end.
Ooh.
And for the first time on Hard Choices, the Human Bard Maquenzie, a fellow mononymer.
Yeah! Adopt every single Mabari hound you come across. That's the rule.
It's a good rule.
Okay, so the way it worked was this. We scoured the Dragon Age games down to the most insignificant side quest and most forgettable piece of DLC to put together a list of the 21 most representative characters from the series. We each ranked these characters independently, from most fuckable to least fuckable. Over the course of the episode, we would be revealing these rankings to each other, starting with everyone's median, the number 11, and then working our way down to the bottom of the list before jumping back up and working our way through the top 10, ending with everyone's number 1. We'd be explaining our reasoning as we went, reasoning that would be, for the most part, brief, but everyone had 3 big fields available in case we needed to expand any of our entries into a longer argument. Then, once the list had been revealed, we'd aggregate them to come up with a single master list, but not before taking a moment to unpack some of the choices we'd made.
Wait just a moment. I know you already told me the premise of this show, but really? You're just ranking how hot you find these characters?
Oh, no, of course not. I mean, not completely. Fuckability isn't what they look like, it's what they fuck like. You have to assume that you are into them, they are into you. How good is the sex and what is it like?
An interesting way of looking at things. Alright, very well, proceed. Which characters were you ranking?
Wow, are you a mage who's put points into the creation tree? Because it sounds like you're trying to cast haste on this whole thing.
Oh,
no.
Wow.
First, we need to talk about the characters we're not ranking. Our honorable mentions.
Our first honorable mention is Wynn, a Mima, a Circle Mage, and one of your companions in Dragon Age Origins. Despite the fact that Wynn canonically fucks, she is still probably the blandest character in all of Thedas.
Number 2 on our list of honorable mentions is Shale. Shale's a dwarf who was turned into a golem who then joined the party after the warden obtained her control rod in a DLC, I'm pretty sure. Despite the fact that she's more or less a remote-controlled rock, she's still way more interesting than Wynn.
Claire's gonna be so mad at us for this.
Harsh.
Number 3, the Architect, another one of the 7 Tevinter Magisters who stormed the Golden City. The architect looks kind of like if Corypheus had appeared in the video for David Bowie's Ashes to Ashes. Getting to fuck this guy probably would have been rad, but cuts had to be made.
Number 4, a little sibling pair, Bethany Hawk and Carver Hawk. Fraternal twins and siblings of the main protagonist of DA2. Bethany, the apostate mage, and Carver, the warrior, are kind of more plot devices than fully realized characters, so, you know.
Number 5 is Blackwall. Blackwall was a Grey Warden who served with distinction during the Fifth Blight. But the character known as Blackwall is actually a wanted criminal and former mercenary named Tom Rainier, who took on the Warden's identity after Blackwall died, saving him from Darkspawn. Interesting character concept, but not an especially exciting guy unless you get real horny for whittling.
Number 6 is Cole. He's a confused spirit who has manifested himself in the body of a sickly young man. Cole has a habit of appearing where he's least expected and disappearing when he feels like it. We love a ghost on Hard Choices, but this one feels a little bit young in personality, so we had to pass.
And finally, number 7, Lace Harding. Hands down the most adorable NPC in Thedas. Her formative years as a shepherd in the Ferelden hinterlands made her an ideal scout for the Inquisition. There's too many great characters in these games, but Harding is just going to have to settle for a shout-out. She's probably too good for us anyway.
Enough of this foolishness. I came here for answers, not for you to both swoon over and low-key neg the characters you didn't even put on the list. I demand the 21 characters that you are going to rank.
Number 1 on our list, Alistair, a self-deprecating Grey Warden with a complicated family history. Alistair is as quick with his sword as he is with a quip. Whether he ends up drowning his many sorrows in Kirkwall or sitting on the throne of Ferelden, he's always at least a little bit pathetic.
Number 2 is Leliana. A devout Andrastian, a bard, a thief, and a spy, Leliana is a serious woman whose hobbies include archery, breeding nugs, and murdering anyone the Divine doesn't like before the Divine even knows she doesn't like them.
Number 3 is Morgan. Brought up in the wilderness by her mother Flemeth, Morgan is a powerful and pragmatic mage. She uses every tool available to her to get what she wants, whether that's magic, manipulation, or straight-up sex rituals.
Number 4 is Zevran. Formerly a member of the Antivan Crow Assassins, Zevran botched a job to murder the hero of Ferelden and ended up joining them instead. Zevran is a hot, slutty, pansexual mess who's surprisingly affable for a contract killer. Doesn't mean he's above taking his targets from behind, if you know what I mean.
Number 5, Loghain MacTyr. The Macbeth of Ferelden, Loghain was a widely admired general who betrayed his king and usurped the throne. Also, his surname means wolf in Irish.
Number 6 is Anders, a Grey Warden and mage. Anders became radicalized by the treatment of mages in Kirkwall, and eventually led a revolution against the cruel yoke of the Templars. But more importantly, he has a little kitty cat named Sir Pouncelot.
Number 7 is Varric Tethras, rogue, merchant, wastrel, and author. Varric is many things. A surface-born dwarf, he runs his family's mercantile empire alongside a parallel spy network when he's not busy giving everyone in Thedas a nickname or writing them into his stories.
Number 8, Aveline. Fair-minded and moral, Aveline was a warrior who later became captain of the guard in Kirkwall. Raised on tales of knightly valor, Isabella once accurately described her as a woman-shaped battering ram.
Number 9, Fenris. A fugitive elven slave from Deventer who sports lyrium tattoos and an emo haircut and hates mages. Unlike most elves in the series, Fenris is a warrior who wields large two-handed weapons and hates mages. Surprisingly, most of Fenris's dialogue revolves around how much he hates mages.
Number 10 is Isabella, a flirty rogue and a pirate captain of flexible morals. When asked why she chose a life on the high seas, Isabella replied, "I like big boats and I cannot lie."
Yeah!
Number 11, Meryl. Meryl is a generally well-meaning Dalish elven mage with the cutest Welsh accent. However, her naivete leads her to the dangerous practice of blood magic. In an attempt to restore her people's former glory, she accidentally wipes out her whole village in a magical oopsie? But it's the thought that counts.
Number 12, Cassandra Pentagast. The right hand of the divine, Sandra is a severe warrior who is estranged from her noble Navaran family because they disapproved of her martial, tomboyish lifestyle choices. An absolute powerhouse in both presence and on the battlefield. Her only weakness is her love of Varric's terrible romance novels.
Number 13, Dorian Pavus. Pavus? I don't know, it's Latin. A Tevinter mage who hides his conflicted feelings about his family, his country, and his sexuality behind playful banter and the best facial hair in the game.
Yeah!
Number 14, the Iron Bull. A huge Qunari warrior, the Iron Bull is the head of a mercenary band while actually working as a spy for the Qunari nation. The Iron Bull canonically masturbates while thinking of battles he deems worthy.
Number 15, Sarah. An elven rogue and self-taught archer, Sarah grew up in an elven alienage and hates the rich. She enjoys playing pranks, especially on nobles, especially murdery pranks on nobles. Also calls herself a friend of Red Ginny, which I'm guessing means she'll eat you out regardless of what time of the month it is.
Number 16, Solus. An apostate elven mage, Solus comes across as uptight and philosophical for most of the game, until you discover that he's actually Fen Harl, elven god of betrayal and rebellion, fond of a nice cup of tea, and highly aerodynamic hairstyles.
Number 17, Vivienne de Fer. Vivienne is an Orlesian mage, a consummate politician and diplomat, and a close advisor to Empress Celine. Her look is inspired by Maleficent and Vivienne Westwood. She serves it, and you will eat it.
Number 18, Colin Stanton Rutherford. A former Templar who struggles with lyrium addiction, Colin is the head of the Inquisition's armies and takes most things very seriously, including the styling of his hair, though he will never admit it.
You gotta get those little curls right. It's hard.
Got a little bit.
Number 19, Josephine Cherette Montillier. Josephine is the charming heir to a noble Antivan family and the Inquisition's main ambassador and diplomat. A friend of Liliana's from her time as a bard, Josephine greatly enjoys gossip, gold lame, and gaudy ruffles.
Flemeth, known as Ashabelina to the elves, the Witch of the Wilds to natives of the Qunari Wilds, and an old hag who talks too much to Alistair. Flemeth is a mysterious and powerful witch of indeterminate age and origin. She can also turn into a dragon, which is pretty fucking metal.
And finally, number 21, Corypheus, the antagonist of Dragon Age Inquisition. Corypheus claims to be one of the 7 Tevinter magisters who entered the Fade to storm the Golden City and claim godhood. While that may be true, he may also be an archdemon with delusions of grandeur, and he was definitely used as a pawn by Fen Harl to reactivate the Orb of Destruction. Hashtag just fantasy things. The stage was set, the characters were unveiled, and all that was left was to dive in and start ranking. We started with everyone's median, their number 11. The real typical loot drop characters. Mac, it is your first time on this show. Would you please bless us with the opening of this episode with your number 11, your middlest of the road?
Finris is my number 11.
Oh.
Look, hear me out. He'd be great for fucking you, and if you're a mage, the hate fucking is going to be superb.
Yes.
But he's too intense, so he's never going to be able to soften up. And he's also like the kind of guy who really loves pegging whenever you peg him, but he's never going to ask you for it, and he's too grumpy and tsundere about that. And so you're going to have to like read his mood to do it, and he's not going to thank you for it. He's just going to be like, you're constantly having to figure him out because he's never going to communicate it. And that sucks.
God, that feels so true. That feels so correct.
My boner is flagging already. Kit, your number 11.
My number 11 is Aveline. I love her. Great character. But she's a bit uptight, but sweet, and very awkward, matters of the heart, which is kind of my thing. She definitely didn't show up to the Dragon Age bar for a one-night stand. She came to break up the drunken brawl. But maybe after the brawl, you know, you get to know her, and she takes a bit too long to realize you're hitting on her. But once she does, she awkwardly stammers an excuse about having to go, and I'm getting into fanfic territory. I'm sorry. So I'll just wrap this up. She's strong, and I want her to bonk me sexually. Because I think she's a mountain worth climbing, okay?
Yeah. All right, Annie, you're number 11.
My number 11 is Liliana, because you have to kind of break her into 2 Lilianas. You have like Dragon Age Origins Liliana is like your best friend fuck, where you just have a great time together and you bond on so many levels. You both love wearing great shoes. The sex probably involves wearing great shoes. And then you have Inquisition Leliana, which is kind of like fucking Batman, but it's like the really grim, this is where I watched my parents die, Raphael, cowabummer kind of Batman. And she really only fucks you to satisfy your curiosity and be done with you and get some valuable intel out of you and push you away. And that emotional distance is just not the sexy kind of emotional distance. So she like averages out into my median fuck.
Yeah.
Okay. My number 11 is Loghain Maktir.
Wow.
Oh, he hates himself. At the risk of rubbing up against someone else's trauma for sexy reasons. Yum! Sorry. I just have big horny feelings about accepting people where they are and like for who they are.
Oh.
Immediately after sex, though, he goes and stands to look out a window and breathe. That is going to get so fucking old. All right.
But you get to look at them cheeks, right? While he's standing in the...
It's true. It's
They're
true. Them
very, probably
cheeks.
very chiseled
They
cheeks.
gotta be great.
They gotta be great. He's been like a warrior forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're the
that man does not
firmest
skip leg day.
cheeks of granite. All right, Mac, you're number 12.
My number 12 is actually Loghain.
Wow.
And I've got some big feels here.
Okay.
Ooh. Ooh, right out the gate. Let's
Yeah.
go.
I am a sucker for sad grim boy who's got a dark past and betrays people.
It's true.
And because of that, my first thought was to actually put him way lower. And I was thinking, oh, he's probably one of those guys who's just like, only for reproduction. But then I remembered his backstory. And his backstory, he loved another woman, and she desperately loved him back, and their banging was fucking great. And then he regretfully told her to go marry the king because the king was stupid, and he wanted someone smart next to the king. And there was all this sad angst there. And then he met his wife, loved his wife. They had Honora together, but then he left to go to Denirum for years. So here's the thing: he's definitely fucking amazing in bed. He rocks your fucking world. He just makes you scream, and you have the best time of your life. And then he just gets up and he walks off and he disappears. He comes, he ravishes you, and he ruins you for everything else. And the ravishing puts him that high, but the ruins and leaving you lonely and blank and missing him forever, that brings him down here.
Oh,
Damn, Mac.
damn.
That's compelling.
Damn.
I'm
Damn.
want, but also.
But also,
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Kit, you're number 12.
Vivienne. If she wants to fuck you, you should feel very special. She's worked hard to get where she is in life, and reputation is everything to her. And I think that extends into the bedroom. No pillow princess here. She is a monarch mommy. What has me ranking her down here, though, is that I don't think she'd ever fully let go of herself. The same part of her that drives perfection is, I think, what makes her feel so detached.
All right. Annie, you're number 12.
my number 12 is Dorian. With the understanding that in order to fuck Dorian, I'm pretending to be, like, significantly more masked than I am.
Yeah.
Dorian is a catty, wildly confident bitch, and I respect this so much about him. Like, but you get the feeling that sex with him is at least partially about showing his dad. And while he's a lot of fun to hang out with, he's probably not always, like, fun to have sex with.
Yeah.
Because he's not really fucking you because it's you sometimes, so much as he's fucking you because it's sex. And it's what he actually likes, and it's not what his dad thinks he's like. And it's a lot of tangled up issues that I'm not super here for, but on the other hand, Dorian is also into monster men with huge titties, so we do have a lot in common.
My number 12 is Sarah. She has a futon, she works a job you don't fully get, and doesn't seem to be as above board as maybe you anticipated it being. But she hates the same people you do. And when you fuck on that futon while she's cackling about it, it feels so fucking good. Plus, the way she swears when she comes.
Do you think she's
gimme,
kind of like
gimme.
is this a little bit like a Star-Lord fuck? Like,
I
that
think
nasty,
there's some Star-Lord in
There's
there.
some dirtbag in there, yeah.
There's
on
some
the floor,
dirtbags.
though.
Yeah. I think there is a half-empty cup from Dion's that she has not thrown away despite it having been there for 2 weeks. Respect. All right, Mac, you're number 13.
My number 13 is Vivienne de Fer. Because, look, she is a total fucking babe, but I know she's too good for me, and she knows she's too good for me. She demand I worship her, I'm happy to, but in response she's kind of a tuna princess. Maybe she'd reach out and do, a little bit of magic to but it's not her best effort, and I know it, and she knows it, because I'm not worth that.
Wow. Yeah, that would be tough.
She's a mystery.
Can I jump a little? Because my 13 was also Vivienne.
Oh, wow. She's
it.
fixing to be in the middle here. Oh, wow.
I'm sorry. This video game literally introduces her as, Madame de Fer.
Yeah.
Vivienne is a woman who has lived in circles all her life, presumably under the subjugation of Templars, but there is no way this woman hasn't always been in charge of everyone.
Yeah.
And, the sex would be great if you're into subbing for her. It would be precise. It would be incredible. There would be a lot of kissing her feet, because damn girl. But, I don't know that it would be that exciting after the first time, because I think it would be she would have, this is the precise way to have sex. This is how I have sex. This is how I have sex every time.
Oh.
And, she sort of decided that's what it is. And I don't think she's the kind of person who thrives on spontaneity. So, once you've fucked her once, you've kind of fucked her every time.
Oh. Well, look, it's going to become very apparent that I don't know as much about these characters as y'all, despite my real solid attempt to learn. My number 13 is Aveline, because I think she does when she wants to. I think she can fuck like a beast. Her dedication to her husband, she has that tone of what's hers is hers. And she fucks like you are hers if that's how she feels. And I also do not think I'm saying anything shocking here whenever I say she probably has a very large collections of strap-ons, and one of them is definitely called the battering ram. Baby, you can storm my pussy any day.
Just a big sign that says do, and you can hit people with it.
All right, Kit, you're number 13.
It's Meryl. And Meryl is my favorite of the romances from 2. So
okay.
So I know. So making this list was very interesting for me, because it's her ranking fuckability, not how much I actually personally like these people and want to fuck them myself. But here we go. This is where I pull out my little binoculars and look for Bob, because I assume they're at the very opposite end of the bar. I don't know. We'll see. Meryl is very bubbly and sweet, the exact kind of girl that I fall for. She's also sad, but hides it under humor, just like me. It's so nice to be able to relate. Unfortunately, I don't think she fucks like anything special, unless she could be convinced to use blood magic in the bedroom.
Oh, fuck.
Threesome with a demon? I don't know.
You want to bring a demon into this? We can get a lust demon into this. You want lose your soul? It'll be fine. You want to bring a pride? You want to bring a pride demon into this?
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
I feel like ranking the demons would be a separate list, but very doable.
Yeah. All right, Mac, you're number 14.
My number 14 is Aveline. I love her. A big, strong lady. Definitely soft when she's in love. But both a mix of what are guards but the cops of this universe. So Agab mixed with the fact that I don't know that she could ever actually, she's always stressed about her job. She's always thinking about her job. And so I just have a feeling that would come through in bed.
Oh.
We'd be in the middle of fucking and she'd be like, I wonder if those guards actually booked that man.
Oh, no.
I just don't want that.
All right, Kit, what do you not want at number 14?
Sarah. She's so damn funny, but I also felt like I was always one wrong word away from pissing her off, because she's surprisingly guarded. She's also real hard to predict, which can be fun in the bedroom, or an absolute disaster. If pulling pranks is your idea of foreplay, though, Sarah's the elf for you.
All right, Annie, you're number 14.
My 14 was Corypheus. Like, okay, so he's got a really fucked up face and huge claws, but on the other hand, he's got a really fucked up face and huge claws.
Yeah.
And, like, sure, he might turn me into some kind of horrific darkspawn nightmare monster. I mean, whatever. But, like, also, he did enter the Golden City and watch it turn black. And, I mean, like, maybe he's just got such sights to show me, you know? Maybe he's got some, like, sexy, uncaring, eldritch BDSM monster Hellraiser vibes to him. It's not a complete no.
All right, my number 14 is Josephine. People with social skills have it in them to be the most manipulative and terrifyingly cunning creatures of all. I would love to never be sure if she was working me to get something. She probably isn't, but the thrill of seeing her smooth things over with someone else at a party and go, fuck, she pulled that on me last night. There is something about being with somebody that goddamn smart that you're like, oh. All right, Mac, you're number 15.
So my number 15 is Cullen Stanton Rutherford, who I lusted over for 2 games of finally getting to bag him in the 3rd game. But I'm going to be real. Yeah. He's kind of the guy who'd eternally have issues and fixate on them. And so sometimes sex would just stop in the middle so he could cry it out for a while.
Oh my god, you were so excited about him.
I was so excited. And I would still romance him if I replayed Dragon Age Inquisition today, but I just don't think the sex is great. It's lackluster at best.
All right, Kit, you're number 15.
Morrigan. She's a complicated one. She's independent, though if she starts to take to you, you know, you might just see a bit of her little repressed girly side, despite her trying to like hide that. I can't imagine she's actually experienced its sex because of her like of those traits and her staying away from people for so long. And I don't think she's going to take well to constructive criticism either. If you're willing to jump through hoops and gently stick the landing on the fucking eggshells of this flighty witch's ego, maybe you'll get a sexy mage fuck out of it eventually.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I may not be a reliable sample size. Okay. Annie, you're number 15.
My 15 was Aveline. I have, like everybody else here so far, I have such a soft spot for big, beefy, anxious weirdos who have no idea how to talk about their feelings. Great characters. I would love to be, like, the woman for Aveline, because I would be a huge anxious weirdo right back at her. Like, Aveline and I would be those gays walking down the aisle and exchanging vows and asking, okay, but do you like me? Or do you like me as a friend? The problem is that we would have the most awkward and bumbling sex, and it would be uncomfortable for everyone, and we would agree to never talk about it ever again. But I love her to death, though. I want only good things for her.
Yeah, she deserves it.
My number 15 is Meryl. I was once in a chemistry class, and there was one guy in the class who was the least adept at a lot of stuff. We had a lab one day, and there were some serious acids and bases involved, and I deliberately chose to be his partner because I was terrified that if someone diligent didn't choose this motherfucker, someone was going to get acid or base all over their arm. Like, same with Meryl. I would be low-key nervous during all the sex that I was going to have to crisis manage at any moment, and that doesn't sound like a good time. However, I will say, in my defense, we did get an A on the lab, so maybe I could make it work, but at what cost, I ask you? At what fucking cost? Brandon, if you were out there, you weren't the worst lab partner I could have ever had. Thanks. All right, Mac, you're number 16.
Josephine. I kind of feel bad about this one because she's extremely cute and extremely pretty, but Josephine is so used to having to be, like, on all the time and to be social all the time. I just have a feeling that she'd be pulling the customer service voice on me while we're in bed and fucking.
Oh, no!
And we're, like, fingering each other and making out, and then she's like, yes, do you like that or not? And I'm just like, I can't do it.
She would accidentally call you ma'am, but it wouldn't be the sexy ma'am. It would be the customer ma'am.
Yes, it would be the customer ma'am. I can't do it.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Oh, no, that's tragic.
Oh, no.
Oh, Kit, take us further down into the pits of despair.
It's 16, right? Yeah. For me, that's Liliana. In order to fuck her, she's gonna have to believe that I love her.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So forget about that one night stand, first of all. Oh, she's kind of married to the divine. Considering how guarded she is and how all about the chanter she is, I cannot imagine sex with her is anywhere near as interesting as the stories she could tell you about Orlesian court scandals, you know? All bard, no bite.
Ooh. Snappy.
Annie, you're 16.
My 16 was Sarah. She's a chaotic, manic pixie dream girl, but like emphasis on the manic part, not the dream girl part. It would be super fun, but ultimately like unstructured. I feel like Sarah would be so unwilling to even commit to the sex that she would get you like halfway there, but then she would chicken out or get bored or decide she wants to do something entirely different and change her mind. So she would like accidentally edge you for the entire time.
Wow.
Because she just will not commit to just one whole orgasm. And like, and the thing is that I also feel like she would not take well to not being the person setting the pace of the event. She would not like not being in charge, to the point where like, if you just, like, she would resent whoever tried to get her to commit to one whole sex. Like, she's not in the right place for a relationship, and I just don't even think she's in the right place for an orgasm.
Wow. That's tough. My number 16 is Cassandra Pentagast. I think she won't fuck someone she's ambivalent about, and I only like her when she's yelling at someone. I bet she's actually really a bit shy about sex, and that is cute in the abstract, not super my comfort zone. Worse, I will constantly be trying to low-key make her mad to get that angry fuck out of her.
Ooh.
I don't think that's going to go my way. No. I don't have that sense about this thing. All right, Mac, you're number 17.
My number 17 is Morrigan. I feel like the sex would be pretty good, but the problem being that I think she'd rather be doing cool, evil, witchy shit, and sex with me is not cool, evil, witchy shit. She wants to go dance in the forest. She'd rather bone the devil, but she is not interested in boning me. And really? And it's kind of like that's part of the point. That said, I bet when we do fuck, it's going to be pretty interesting. Wherever it is, and it's definitely for a reason, and I'm okay with that.
All right, Kit.
My number 17 is Solus. I'm actually shocked he got this high. I kind of found him boring. But this is me respecting the premise of the show. He's an interesting character when you get to the twist. By the way, if we didn't, we really should put a little spoiler warning at the beginning of this show. Because it's a huge reveal. He's ancient, but does that mean he's experienced? I'm asking because I genuinely can't tell if this god has fucked in the last century. He is just so focused on his goals. Unless he pulls out some spooky wolf god dick, this is a pass for me.
All right, what about you, Annie?
My 17 was Colin, actually for very similar reasons to Mackenzie. This is a man who will take some magic drugs right before sex, and somehow he will still give you completely unsatisfying sex, and he will cry about it after.
Yep.
Like, I think he would probably be the perfect, like, pet for somebody who wants to lead him around by the collar, but I think he'd cry about that too, because Colin thinks he should be on top, because he's got some real big toxic masculinity in him, and he will not let that go.
That's so legit.
My number 17 is Liliana. She won't laugh at my jokes, and I hate that. I will be bitter the entire time and already be plotting who I am going to tell about it later so they can say, no, look, that totally should have gotten a laugh. Which is extraordinarily petty in the context of sex. But look, if I blow a good joke on you and get nothing, it is going to be the Sahara goddamn desert down there. I'm sorry. This is an ugly podcaster truth. All right, Mac, you're number 18.
Corypheus. I love the monster look, but he's an arrogant asshole full of hubris. That's literally his whole thing. And that means he'd be the kind of guy who'd be like mid-fuck with me and be like, tell me how good I am! Well, meanwhile, I'm drier than the fucking Atacama Desert. And I'm like sitting there thinking of whatever true crime show I watched, and I keep being interrupted with, you've never been fucked like this before, have you? And I am not interested.
Oh, brutal. Kit, hit me.
My 18 is Cassandra. I love Cassandra. Oh, she's just so spicy, but secretly romantic. Oh, considering she adores the sweeping romance novels that Varric wrote, like to the point where she insists you court her properly, and has shared a bed only with one other person. I just don't think Cassandra's a powerhouse in the bedroom. Templar on the streets, squire in the sheets. Hate to see it.
Annie, you're 18.
My number 18 is Meryl. She's too baby. She would need someone to gently guide her through her first time. And also every time is somehow also her first time. So you are always gently guiding her like she is a baby deer who might spook if you say the word clitoris too loud. She's baby. I can't.
I love her.
My number 18 is Fenris. Best case fuck. You have just done something to fuck over a mage in a huge way. I think he would fuck like a goddamn demon right after that. Any other situation, he is low-key going to be thinking about how he could instead be spending this time on his goals vis-a-vis fucking over mages, which is not a big turn-on for me. Sorry. All right, Mac, you're number 19.
My number 19 is Anders. In the DLC, I bet he would fuck like a god. But in DA2, he's possessed by justice. And not only that, but I get the vibes that, like, which I get the vibes that he's probably not bad in bed, but I get the vibes that to get me into bed, he would probably lie to me the whole time. He's like, I'm dying in a week, let's go fuck. And he'd be like, oh shit, I'm so sorry, man. And you'd go have a great time, and then he's going to either cry about it, or be, like, righteously indignant about how he fucked me for the good of all.
No.
Like, the sex was good, but not that good. And lying is just, no.
My number 19 is also Anders.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, oh no. I think he tries to fuck like someone who is not literally composed of trauma and coping mechanisms. Yeah. My dude, you've been through a lot, and like, maybe that's okay? I don't want to feel like I personally have to buy into his I'm fine now persona as the price of sex, because I have a real bad poker face for that. I'm going to spend the entire fuck looking like a worried Muppet. I know, Kit's seen my worried Muppet face.
Y'all, my number 19 is also Anders. Because some men will really put you on a really emotionally intense pedestal and then blow up an entire city-state without talking to you first instead of going to therapy.
Ooh. Wow. All right, Kit, your 19 is probably not Anders, but...
It's not Anders, and I apologize for nothing. We'll get to that later. No, my 19 is Josephine. I'm so sorry. Liliana, very appropriately, I think, reads Josephine as being innocent in love, which you'd think I would like, but I think that makes her kind of like Cassandra if Cassandra wasn't a bad bitch who could bench press me. So what is even the point?
Mackenzie, you're number 20. We are getting down near the dregs.
My 20 is Meryl. Meryl is very cute, but she gives off too many wee baby girl vibes for me. I'd be uncomfortable the whole time. She'd be anxious the whole time. We'd barely get going, and I'd call it quits because I'd feel like I was doing something I shouldn't be, or anything like that. And I just feel squeamish the whole time, and I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to also hold her hand to make her figure out how to fuck. I don't want to do that. I'm just not into it.
Kit, what are you not into?
Oh, me again? Are we doing 20? It's Loghain.
Aww.
I'm
He's so sad.
I'm sorry. I do like his cool last name. But he's like if the maker took the vibe of a furrowed brow and a clenched jaw and turned it into a man. He couldn't get fucked up the ass even if he wanted it. That hole is too tight.
Savage. All right, Annie, you're number 20.
It's also Loghain.
What? Okay.
Oh, you don't understand. I just had to do a genocide. It was the only way. I just had to tell you I had a latex allergy so I didn't have to wear a condom. It's the only way to get you to fuck me. I have a hot daughter. You don't understand. I woke up my cat.
Oh.
No.
How dare you, Loghain? How dare you do this?
You woke up my little kitty cat, and now I have to pet his little belly.
Oh, man. My number 20 is Colin Stanton Rutherford.
Nice.
I feel like he's going to be so goddamn serious and it's going to be so goddamn boring. Fucking me is what he does when he's not working, but really, he'd kind of rather be working.
Oh, no.
No. Absolutely not. This is it. The most unfuckable person that we could put on this list. Mac, take it away.
The most unfuckable person in all of the Dragon Age series to me is Sarah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man.
And I think it's because every time I imagine sex with Sarah, I imagine her, like, going between my legs and saying, "What do we have here?" And me saying, "What?" And her going, "A jar of bees!" And releasing bees into my fucking vag and labia, and it just hurts.
I think as long as you're not rich, you'll be okay.
I just can't not imagine it, and so she is the least fuckable. I do not want bees anywhere near me when I'm fucking.
She would think it was the funniest shit.
That's a really reasonable stance to take around the issue of bees and sex. Okay, Kit, you're number 21.
I'd rather have bees in the hoo-ha. Corypheus.
Okay.
This disgusting, slave-owning, megalomaniacal monster is not a fuck I would enjoy. This is not the monster fuck for me. The amount of Long Island iced teas I would need to drink in order to fulfill the premise of this show would actually kill me. I'll meet the maker before Corypheus does. Deal with it.
Wow. Annie, you're number 21.
It's Solus. I refuse to believe in a world where sex with Solus isn't painfully mediocre.
Thank you. Yeah.
And the thing is that afterwards he gives you a long, boring lecture about how back in his day, sex was so much better, and it's society's fault that sex is super mediocre now and not his at all. Oh, the sexual positions we had. You could not imagine what it was like. And like, yeah, dude, I can't because you just fucked me a missionary and finished in about 30 seconds. You're right. It's someone else's fault. And frankly, the Dreadwolf fucks like that too. I am certain.
Oh, damn.
Waste of a monster wolf dick.
Seriously.
My number 21 is Alistair.
Oh.
I don't even think he's a wow boobs. I think he's a wow anything. Let me be clear. I think he is capable of a perfectly fine fuck. What he cannot do is fuck you without his innate clinginess settling all over your skin like you've walked through a spider web. It's not horniness, it's not desire, it's not passion, it's the desperation to be loved. I can see it all over that little BioWare face. I do not want to be fucked like I'm the answer to your self-love problems. Go pay for therapy like the rest of us. Thank you.
Slide him across the bar my way, Bob.
I know.
Take it.
Like, oh, I'll fix you.
It's like he's definitely higher on my list than he is on yours, but the fact that you are doing this cold read across the fucking room at this guy, and it is all fairly admittably accurate. Damn, Bob.
Yeah.
I saw that face and I went, oh, you. I've seen you on the dating websites. I remember what you're like. No, sir.
Maker's breath. I had no idea the depths of profound unfuckability that lurked at the heart of Thedas.
Yeah, we had a real blight in our deep roads, if you know what I mean. But the archdemon of unfuckable characters had been slain, and that meant the road was clear for our top 10s. My number 10 is Zevran. The horny one, but the horny one with a big heart that he guards closely. This is where the premise of the show bites me in the ass. It would be so fucking good. He'd be hungry for everything from like a very genuine place, but I'm gonna be so caught up in trying to like keep him instead of just fucking him that I'm gonna get in my head about it. Only at like month 7 of this thing, maybe when we're both being more honest, hopefully, is the sex gonna be what it is actually capable of being. Look, the problem is everyone in this goddamn game, everyone in this motherfucking game, they don't have walls. They're made of walls. Dude, this is a game of wall people, and we're trying to fuck them. It's very challenging.
Bring your climbing gear.
Yeah, pretty much. Bring the crampons. Annie, who are you getting out the pics for?
It's also Zevran! Zevran is like, he's the platonic ideal of fuckboy. If you look up in a dictionary, look up fuckboy, there's a picture of Zevran and his dumb little face tattoos. And like, that's great. I love the energy. He seems like a perfectly serviceable fuckboy. Look, the thing is, I think he might be bluffing a little about how good sex with him actually is. Like, this is a man who will spend 40 to 80 hours telling you he's really, really good at lockpicking. This time for real. I promise, baby. Just this next chest. I can definitely open it up. Yeah, this door for sure, baby. And man, I just don't think Zevran is quite the keymaster he's cracked up to be, so I just don't know if I want to be his gatekeeper.
All right, Kit, what about you?
My number 10 is Fenris. Emo elf twunk is sad. I don't really think I need to elaborate, but I will say the only reason he isn't higher is because he masks his sadness with a grumpiness that starts to grate after a while.
He's so sad.
So grumpy. So sad grumpy.
He's so sad and grumpy.
Aww.
Mackenzie, what about you?
My number 10 is Leliana. She is so method actor. I do think it depends on when you catch her. But, like, first you meet her, she's basically a nun. And nuns, like, they have that kind of strict but very good going down on you vibe. That I think would be fabulous. And then in 3, she becomes, like, as Annie said earlier, murder Batman. And I just think that sex would be fucking intense and great. And so, while there are other moods, which I don't think, like, her method acting would necessarily cause for good fucking, those that we see in the games, she gives, like, all kinds of fucking. She gives soft fucking, she gives hard fucking, and that's great. I'm into that.
Well, now we come to our number 9s, and we're going to see who we're into here. I am into Iron Bull. No, sorry, I apologize. Don't fucking hunt me down. The Iron Bull. I think he is such a good one-night stand. That casual comfort with the physical, strong sense of himself, like, Also, I feel very basic. The eye patch and the horns do a lot. Not just because he has them, but because he walks around like, yeah, and, which is big, he fucks energy. I'm obviously doing this, though, to hang on to those horns after the headboard is shattered.
So I'm going to actually swing in, because my number 9 is also the Iron Bull.
Nice.
Yeah!
Because he can definitely fuck. As noted, that headboard is going to be shattered. I'd be wobbly-legged and loving it, and we'd come back to fuck again, and it would be great. But I've said it with, like, the Corypheus thing. I am not into braggarts, and I just know that he's going to be asking me afterward how good it was and to rate it in kind of a way, and I just don't want that. But I just look at how I'm wobbling, man. That's how good it is.
All right, what about you, Annie?
My number 9 was Isabella. Like, She will get you into the wildest sex parties of your life. She knows a guy. She's got the right drugs. She has all the hookups and connections. She knows everyone who's hot. They all know her. And she wants you to come along as her +1. Isabella is always DTF because there is literally no way she wears underwear under that little tunic. She's here for a good time, but not for a long time. Because the problem is that Isabella sucks at aftercare. She is not here for softness or vulnerability, so the sex is incredible, but it also leaves you with a cold bed at the end of the night. And I can't do that. You gotta have, the aftercare is so important, and she would be terrible at it.
Oh no. Kit, you're number 9.
This is my first big feels.
Ooh.
Varric. This dwarf seems like he fucks, but only under specific circumstances, I think. He's smooth, has a good sense of humor, and has written a series of romance novels, though he states they're his worst books. Despite that, I think the reason we don't see Varric deep in the pussy mines like all the time is because he's secretly a huge romantic and way hung up on the woman he named his crossbow after, Bianca Devry. I think Varric not being a romanceable option in the game shows just how closed off he is after what happened between him and Bianca. So, I think, by the premise of our choices, if Varric is into you enough to sleep with you, he's really into you. And I love a romantic fuck. But is he amazing? I don't know. Bianca Davry still cares about him, but maybe if his nug was a little more memorable, she would have stayed.
Oh, damn.
I do love Varric. I love you, Varric. Sorry.
All right, on to number 8. My number 8 is Dorian. It would be like super hot to have my gender validated by a gay man who saw my like masculine presentation as valid and wanted to fuck me as a dude. It would be extra hot to fuck someone who like gets that life is complicated and can be a realist with a sense of humor about it. You're making jokes about your trauma? Me too. We should fuck about it. Call me, Dorian. Call me.
So, MeganBob, actually, you and I are apparently on a line right now because Dorian is also my number 8.
Go for it.
Honestly, most of the things that MeganBob just said are basically what I wrote, but I also included Annie's earlier note of, he's going to be great. He's going to fuck me. We're going to have a humor-filled time, and that's honestly great whenever there are weird noises and everything.
Yeah.
But there are going to be some times where he's just like, my dad sucks, and I want to fuck to prove that my dad sucks.
I'm going to show my dad by having sex. I want to show my dad, I'm not like you, Dad. I can't live your life, Dad.
I can't live your life, Dad. And that's why he didn't manage to break the top 5 for me. But that said, if I were masked enough for him, the sex would be so good. And we'd be laughing, and I think that makes sex good. When you're giggling a little bit.
Annie, what about you? You're number 8.
My number 8 is Morgan. I have a friend who always likes to say that he has a type, and it's brunette who's mean to me. And, whenever we talk about Dragon Age, he's like, Morgan's great until you romance her, and then she stops being mean to you. And I feel like that is something that would carry over into the sex. Like, Morgan is a fantastic hate fuck. Or even, a tsundere, I hate you, but I secretly don't fuck. But the minute Morgan catches feelings, she stops knowing what to do, and she stops being mean to you, and it just loses that spice. But, while the spice lasts. A mean witch with great makeup who dresses kind of slutty all the time and can shape change. I mean, what's not to love? I would be spending so much time just trying to get her to, keep being mean to me for a little while longer. Just, come on, babe.
Everyone just poking at Morgan and Cassandra.
I
know. I got bad ideas. Kit, what about you? Number 8.
All right. So what the other hosts on this episode have taught me is that I have trash taste in men in Thedas. So here's Colin.
Hell yeah, let's do it.
Do it.
He's basically a paladin, and we know the lack of experience that comes with, but I don't think I'm going to hate it, as previous episodes, have implied. I love loved the dissonance between how confident he is as a knight commander and how awkward he is when you start flirting with him. He is like not really physically my type, but the moment he started like, what, girl, whatever, when you're playing the game, like I was instantly like, oh, this is the one I'm romancing. I was obsessed. Legit. It's wild. I just want to distract him while he's working in his office. Get him to push all his important documents off the desk.
Yes! Yes.
And keep just that big fur-collared cloak on.
Oh, fuck. That is so good.
I mean, it's like the Garrus Vicarian, right?
Yes.
It's like, he's great, but as soon as he starts, like, awkwardly wringing his hands about how to tell you look nice, that's when he just goes over the top.
Yes.
Oh, God, yes.
All right, on to number 7. First mention on the list, I think, Flemeth. I mean, I'm ready. Clearly, everyone else is more ready than me to be prey to Kate Mulgrew. I think she's only ever the aggressor, which yum. But honestly, one of the things that does the absolute most for me is the fact that, in the immortal words of Fountains of Wayne, Morrigan's mom has got it going on. Like, fucking your friend's mom who is so dangerous and powerful and hot and who could kill you. Like, next day walk of shame. No, bitch, stride of pride. Be like, calling everyone. I fucked Flemeth. Yes, please send. I expect you to send me, like, this is my graduation, to send me $20 in the mail as, like, you did good. Thank you. Yes, I did.
I'm going to have to cut in here because my number 7 is Flemeth.
Yeah!
Goddess grandmommy who regularly shapeshifts into a dragon. She can and will rock my shitty little mortal world. But I don't know if I'll be able to shake the feeling that I'm part of a larger scheme. Oh, well.
Yeah. Minor fucking quibble. Who gives a fuck? Mackenzie, you're number 7.
My number 7 is Isabella. Because she's going to be great. She's going to fuck you against a wall. She has a whole horde of strap-ons, and you don't really know where she got them, because they're probably stolen, but you don't want to think about that. But she's going to blow your mind with every single one of them. And then you're going to wake up, and every valuable you own is gone, and she's going to ghost you forever, and you can't even really be mad at her because you knew that going into it. Boy.
Tough but fair. Annie, you're number 7.
My number 7 is Fenris. All right, look. I don't normally rank I Can Fix Hims very high on my list, but, like, listen. Sexy, glowing, magic tattoo, sad, grumpy, angy twunk who has so many feelings, but he's also stupid as shit, and he doesn't realize he's stupid as shit. And granted, it's not great that, like, you have sex with this dude once, and then he dramatically turns away like, I can't be with you, I will only ruin you. But unlike Cullen, you can probably just drag this guy back by the scruff of his neck and be like, no, you stupid idiot, listen, just, here's a live journal, just blog a little about your feelings and work it out, and then we can just go right back into round 2, because he's got so many feelings, and he would fuck you with all his feelings, and then you just give him, like, a healthy outlet, like, I don't know, sign him up for emo rock band practice, and he'll just, like, and then once you get that, like, squared away, he fucks you and treats you with all the tenderness all of his big feelings can handle, and also sexy, glowing magic tattoos that go all the way down to his dick.
Oh my god.
Yeah!
I just realized we could listen to emo music together. I need that in my life.
I know, right?
No one will listen to emo music with me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't think I've ever heard emo music.
Definitely. Okay, all right. Don't make me don't make me make you listen to emo music the next time we're together.
Okay, all right. I'll listen to it.
Don't
and
want
I'll go.
Oh,
well,
I
these
think
are a lot of
Dashboard
feelings.
Confessional is really on to something.
All right, and on to number 6. My number 6 is Isabella. I don't think this is a hot take, but she is 100% the person who doesn't stop fucking just because one of her crew, like, opened the door to interrupt with a question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She stops fucking when she decides that she's done fucking.
Yeah.
Has no shame about it. Will walk around with her arm around your waist after while half the crew is rolling their eyes because you're a mark for their captain. She thinks the fact that, like, I care about the fact that they're having a reaction is cute. Normally, arrogance only does so much for me. But the moment swashbuckler boots are involved, the math gets kind of wild.
Yeah.
So, like,
And them tall boots.
Yeah. Them tall fold-over boots. They just do something for you. All right. Mackenzie, who does something for you at number 6?
My number 6 is Varric. Varric, I imagine, is very good in bed. Like, he's a guy who's attuned to the world around him, so he's definitely attuned to every, like, quiver and moan I make, and he can immediately tell how to harness that and make me come so hard, I will never think of another orgasm. But that said, in the aftermath, I'd be reading a book by my favorite author.
Oh, no.
Under a pseudonym, and I'd realize I'd have this cold, dawning comprehension that this character in this book that I'm reading is me. And I'd realize that Varric made me a character in his book. And I don't know if I want my fucks to be immortalized, you know?
Yeah.
Annie, what about you?
Okay, so this is my big feels, and I want to just dive into this before I tell you who it is. So, for some context, the way I describe myself is gray ace bi. I'm the flavor of ace where I very seldom experience actual sexual urges, but like 90% of the time, while I enjoy thinking about other people, usually fictional characters banging, it's just not something I have any personal drive to seek out for myself. Hard Choices is, for me, a really interesting exercise in role-playing as an allosexual person, and I enjoy it a lot. With that in mind, my number 6 is Varric Tethras, because I have given it a lot of thought, and I think Varric is asexual.
Hey.
Like,
Whoa!
I think he's somewhere on the A spectrum. He writes a lot of smut, full of thinly veiled versions of his friends, but never a thinly veiled self-insert. He walks around Kirkwall with his whole chest out, which feels like an advertisement, but is absolutely not. He mostly says he's married to his crossbow. He has an ex with whom he has distinctly yearning, but not necessarily horny energy. Like, the chemistry is there, but it doesn't necessarily say they fuck.
I am into this, Annie. This appeals to me.
I think Varric is a character who's very horny adjacent, but he never seems interested in dipping into horny personally. Like, I think he might be some flavor of gray ace in that I could see him participate in sex, but I think Varric mostly gets enjoyment out of flustering and drawing emotional reactions out of any partners. I think he teases, and he's great at teasing, and he will help you climax, but he's just not really interested in anything for himself. If anything, he'd be a great third person in, like, a threesome where he's, like, happy to help, happy to chance to be, like, emotionally involved. He might jack off later if he feels like it, but mostly he's here for support and research for his next smut fic.
I am really into that.
And I really, really value that sort of person being someone who has a lot of fun with sex, but doesn't necessarily need it for himself. And I think Varric is sexy, and he would have a lot of fun, but at the end of the day, like, me and Varric together, we'd both treat it as a way to hang out together, but not something where we're driven to do by, like, a sex drive that can't handle sustained period without some kind of external stimulation. And I think two people who understand the concepts of sex and understand the concepts of pleasure, but don't necessarily need it for themselves, but enjoy giving it to other people, I think that's great for that character. And frankly, people need to acknowledge that ace folks can be hot as shit and know their way around a bedroom, even if it's not something they need themselves most of the time.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
I'm so here for
I'm going
this
to move
take.
Varric up a little bit.
I know, this is a super hot take.
I discovered this headcanon as I was writing it, and it fits very well in my
really
personal
does.
taste.
Yeah. He is now hotter to me. All right, Kit, you're number 6.
This is Kit's Shitty Taste in Thedas Men Part 2, and it is also a big feels. Anders.
Yeah!
first of all, he's verse, so that's always good. He'll also start with the whole, I merge with the demon, I'll only wind up hurting you spiel, which is monster fucker catnip, so please do go on while I just start removing my pants. You'll only be the second lover he's ever had, so, though he was in his first relationship for a few years, that doesn't really bother me. He has a sense of humor, which is a big turn on for me. And he loves pussy. Cats. Loves kitty cats. Finally, basically, I think if you can get past Anders' fear, he will fuck you like he needs you, because he does. And that's a no for Bob. But I'm problematic, I guess. So, and shit's probably gonna end tragically. But I think this disaster bisexual is worth it. The disaster in me sees the disaster in him. No,
I like Excellent. A different kind of enmeshed codependent. Don't worry. I'm just a different kind of trash. Okay.
We're all trash.
I know. It's true. Delicious, beautiful trash.
It's a safe space for trash.
It is.
This is our little garbage pile of friendship.
That's a sticker right there.
I too am a chalupa rapper, and I regret nothing. Okay, my number 5, big feels. Vivian.
Okay.
I know. I don't normally, femmes don't always end up this high, but there's some really compelling femmes on this list. It's that line, I never worry, darling. A leash can be pulled from either end. That says a woman who knows how to handle a brat. Her respect for and love of the game of politics says she likes some power exchange, but has a real sense of how fluid it can be. Also, she's already talking about leashes. How bad can it fucking go?
I know.
You think I'm afraid to kneel at her feet during a party? If she didn't invite me to do that, I'd show up, throw the leash at her, and sulkily kneel down there anyway. And I have complete faith that she'd know exactly what to do with me if I pulled that brat shit on her. And it would be awful and wonderful. All right, Mackenzie, you're number 5.
My number 5 is Cassandra Pendergast. Because I think she needs some guidance, but she's read a lot of romance books, so she's got, the flirting, and she knows how to do the pander. And on top of that, once you show her that guidance, she's a driven fucking lady knight. She is going to know how to take it. She is going to know how to give it. She's going to be able to pick me up, throw me down, and fuck me hard. And then she's also going to be she's going to be that verse switch soft, where I can then fuck her hard. And she's going to be soft in my arms, and it's going to be incredible.
Ooh.
Oh.
Love it.
Normally, I'm like, Mackenzie is selling me on things that I'm like, I've seen this product on the shelves before and passed it by, but now. All right, Annie, you're number 5.
My number 5 is Flemeth. I am but a simple gay, and I want to fuck a dragon who looks like slutty grandma and is voiced by Kate Mulgrew. Is that not what every former dragon girl has dreamed of since first they realized they weren't straight?
Yeah.
It doesn't even matter what the sex is like. I'm sorry, I'm fucking a dragon with Kate Mulgrew's husky, knowing smirk of a voice.
Oh.
That's all I need, baby.
So powerful.
It's so powerful.
Okay. Kit, you're number 5.
Kit has trash taste in Thedas Men Part 3.
Yeah!
Please.
Alistair. Or Alistair,
Aww.
I guess if you don't want to be fancy. He was my pick when I played Dragon Age 1, because I'm weak for a quip. Even if and a little bit of a sad, right? The smirks and frequent quips that belie how awkward he feels. You just know this boy likes you a lot, and you're pretty sure he's a secret forever wow boobs, or maybe forever wow everything. He's a sweet little sex puppy who wants a strong trainer, and baby, he's a Grey Warden, so I think he got that dog in him.
Thank you, Kit. That's very inspiring.
All right. You're welcome.
My number 4 as we move on up the list is, and perhaps this is my trash taste in Thedas men, Solus. He sees the big picture in everything. Therefore, fucking you has to fit into that bigger picture in some way for him. It has to make sense with his conception of himself and the world. The ego stroke alone of a god contextualizing me in their world is enough to make this extremely good. It's that YA protagonist feeling of being picked out of a crowd.
Yeah.
Yes, Solus, tell me the bees can sense royalty or whatever.
Yay!
My God.
Hooray!
I don't need to be the chosen one, but I gotta be his chosen something. And I get the sense that if he fucks you, that is how it has to be contextualized, and that's gonna feel real good.
If those bees are Sarah's bees, get the fuck away.
I know, that's true. Yeah, well, look, we don't know the alignment of these bees. These bees, who knows? Are these paladin bees? Okay, Mackenzie, you're number 4.
My number 4, we're getting into my trash taste here too, because Alistair.
Hey.
Much like Kit. He was the first romance I ever did in any Dragon Age game. I love that he's funny. I love that he's, like, doting. I love that he's got, like, those big soft boy eyes as he's staring at you across the camp, and you're just like, yes, I love him. He's definitely a guy who can take direction well. Because maybe the first couple of fucks aren't that great, right? But as time goes on, that learning curve, he's just climbing it like a fucking champ. And soon, he's a quick learner. He's cracking jokes. He's like sticking his head between my legs while we're in the middle of camp and while nobody's like looking at us. And I am trying my hardest not to scream. He's got me down. He's doing amazing. And I think the snuggles after would be great too.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a cuddler.
Hello, Hubert.
Yeah.
All right, Annie, you're number 4.
My number 4 is Josephine. Like, look, here's the context that I put Josephine in. Josephine is a woman who would fuck with Excel if she was in a modern AU. And like, look, people who fuck with Excel fuck excellently.
Wow.
Josephine is someone who would keep finding new and interesting things to do. Like, she would put her all into, like, romancing you. She would plan a bunch of fun dates with new and exciting things. She'd bring you home and have everything ready to go, like taking a bath together. Or maybe some new pajamas and artisanal popcorn for curling up for a movie. She would keep a good spreadsheet of, like, all the different toys that you've tried together and what your ratings were and figure out, like, what would be great to introduce next time and what you would keep doing together. Like, she would keep rigorous data for every single sexual encounter you've had together. And that's not for everybody. But, like, I love the idea of someone who puts that much thought and effort into being with me. And, like, I think she would create some incredibly compelling data patterns to guide your sex life next.
Oh, my God. Kit, you're number 4.
Oh, big feels. It's Isabella.
Yum.
So,
Nice.
she's probably tied with Zevron for the most sexually experienced person on this list. And just look at her. Okay, now tear your eyes away because I need you to listen. She's more guarded than she seems, and I have written the word guarded on this fucking list so many more times than on any other episode. Seriously,
right?
Normally, I don't mind a little guarded, but I think she also knows that she's so hot and desirable that, like, she doesn't always try that hard. I think she might just be the type that fucks her best when she falls in love. That seems to be there's kind of like a little bit of an implication there. Sorry, Bob. I'm so sorry to bring love into this.
That's okay. That's okay.
But when she's not in love, it's just rutting, as she puts it. I'm sure rutting with Isabella is still great. But I want that heart. Call me greedy. Okay, I'm going to go back to looking at her.
This is it. Our top 3. All right. My number 3, Morrigan. Maybe I'm wrong. I think, though, that she has the thing. and she probably got it from mom, but that thing of, I will do what it takes to get you if I want you. And to feel no compunction about it. It's just very hot, like, to think of her turning away from someone else mid-conversation, rudely walking away, just to corner me. Because that's how she feels about me. Yeah, not every dom type will corner you. But, love me a good corner. So angular. That's not why I love corners, but, it's fun to say angular like that. Okay, Mackenzie, you're number 3.
My number 3 is your number 3's mom, Flemeth.
Yeah.
Flemeth can turn into a dragon. We've all talked about that already. That is hot as fuck. But more than that, Flemeth definitely knows how to fuck. Flemeth knows how to make you come. She knows how to make you scream. And you know that when she chooses you, she's fucking you for a reason. You know that you're becoming part of some big fucking plan that's going to change the world. And so your fuck is changing the world. And there's something about that which just heightens it. You are the reason the world is changing, and it's the fuck that's happening right now with you holding onto some dragon horns, baby. And that's everything.
Isn't that how anybody wants to change history?
Exactly.
It's true. By fucking a dragon.
Exactly.
you take the pern when the dragons fuck, and then you just remove the middleman.
Yeah. You fuck the dragon.
You fuck the dragon, and the dragon fucks you.
Beautiful. Annie, you're number 3.
My number 3 is Cassandra.
Do it.
Like, you know what? Maybe I just want to be her exception. Maybe I want to be the temptation that breaks her down and makes her question her sexuality. Maybe I want to be the fuck that makes her bi-curious, and then she realizes that you can just be bi, baby. Maybe I want to help her release all that built-up sexual frustration that's got her so worked up every time she reads a romance novel. Like, maybe I just want to help her Jill off while she gets to a sex scene, and I can read it aloud huskily in her ear and mirror some of the actions while she bites her lip and whimpers. Maybe I just want to do that for her. You know?
Kit, you're number 3.
My number 3 is the Iron Bull.
What?
Nice.
I know, right? He's not my type. I'm taking the premise of the show seriously. God damn it. You've changed me, Mom.
Wow.
He's literally the horniest character on this list.
Hey!
And at 8 feet tall, he's kind of a monster fuck. He likes being called the Iron Bull because the article makes it sound like he's not even a person. A little insight into his kinks, methinks. And he's down for what the fuck ever you want, so long as it doesn't interfere with his duty to the Qun. So, I don't think it's going to be a problem. I don't know. Wow. What do I know about fucking... look, Qun? It's fine. Whatever. Qun what? Qun
who? All right, on to number 2. Corypheus.
I should have known.
I know. Everyone was like, come on, Bob. He big. He sad. He dangerous. He weird. He trapped. Do you know the trope? Now I'm your problem. I would do that to him. I would show up to wherever the fuck he lives and start caring about him. And being affectionate and pragmatic and get him fluffier socks and make him tea sometimes until he finally looked at me and he kind of smiled. And then I would fuck his brains out like I was claiming godhood. I made you feel a feeling, you monster. I am your queen. Yes, that would feel amazing. Thank you.
Excellent.
Mackenzie, you're number 2.
My number 2 is a big feels. My number 2, showing all my trash in the world, is Solus.
Yeah, oh, Mackenzie.
My egg boy. My wolf god of betrayal.
Oh, Mackenzie.
He would be so fucking good in bed. He would be so fucking good. Everybody thinks he's boring. This man hangs out with lust demons. You're telling me a man who hangs out with lust demons doesn't know how to fuck? He can fuck hard enough to impress lust demons, okay? This man is a sad wolf god. He is so sad, and he is tormented on the inside, but he hides it all behind a stupid, boring elf veneer. But he can fuck, and he's so sad, and I can love him and make him not be a god of betrayal anymore. I can fuck him so good that he's like, you know what? Fuck that. I'm still the Dreadwolf, but fuck the betrayal thing. Or he'll at least take me along and be like, hey, babe, you want to fuck everybody over with me? And I'd be like, yeah, fuck yeah, I do.
Oh, yeah!
I'm into that option, too. I want both options. He is my sad egg boy, and I fucking love him, and he knows how to fuck. He's learned from the best.
I love you, but oh, Mackenzie.
This is really special. Annie, you're number 2. That is apparently, is not Solus, I'm guessing.
No, Solus was my 21.
Jesus.
My number 2 is Alistair.
Oh, what? Okay.
Yeah, no.
Yay.
Okay, first of all, he was also my boyfriend in Origins. We held hands.
Hell yes.
He was my boyfriend.
Real party here.
Look. Here's the thing about Alistair. He is a golden retriever puppy who just wants to learn how to be a good boy. He's your number 2. He's perfectly attentive. He's not really eager to be in charge. He just wants a strong hottie to tell him what to do and where to go. This man is an ideal sub, and he's into it. You cannot tell me his marriage to Honora involves anything other than Honora wants to fuck, and Alistair says yes. How much? Jump how high? Dick how much? Would you like to peg me? Please. Alistair will, and the thing is that Alistair will do pretty much whatever you say, to the point that he will fuck someone he kind of hates if you just ask him to. There is so much power in that. And he's a virgin who is unplowed snow. He wants to be molded into the perfect lover for you personally, because he wants to please you specifically so bad. And maybe that's a little desperate. I get it. But he's a good boy, and he wants to be a good boy. And also the cuddles would be great.
Oh, this is adding more fuel to my question.
Okay.
All right, Kit, you're number 2.
Dorian. Much like the Iron Bull, he's fun. I think he knows what he's doing. And he's okay with a no-strings attached relationship. But if he likes strings, he might just be down for that too. There's a Tevinter mustache ride for everyone.
Aww. All right, this is it. Number 1. I don't think anybody's going to be surprised by my number 1. I think everybody knew it was going to be Varric. Of course it's going to be Varric. He's the horniest one. Even his laziest fuck, his least giving a shit fuck, is going to be suffused with fuck energy. Everything he does is fucky. The way he has conversations bespeaks the dwarf who fucks the goddamn most. And I do not consider that incompatible with the ace reading.
That's fair.
Look,
That's fair. That's legit.
Because there's a fuck energy that is it doesn't really necessarily live in the genitals.
Yeah, fuck energy is ambient. It is not necessarily connected to whether or not you are fucking a lot.
It can be cerebral.
Exactly. It's a vibe. And I try to keep my ego under control, but the opportunity to do something so fucking good later that I read about a sexy thing in Swords and Shields and think, oh yeah, that's because that one time in the back of the merchant's shop. Some people want a musician to write a song about them. I want a filthy dwarf to write porn about me.
The dream.
Just like this chest out dwarf writing porn for me. Thank you, baby. Oh. All right, Mackenzie, you're number 1.
My number 1 is someone I never romanced, but Zevran. Because I think Zevran would actually be the most incredible fuck. Because he's really good at reading people. Partly from being an assassin, but he's the one who will seek out your warden in DAO to talk to them when they're kind of feeling bad. And I feel with that in mind, he'd be as I mentioned earlier, Varric would be very good about noticing this too, but he'd be good about noticing your twitches or your convulses or anything you didn't say and being able to take that to 100. Never mind the fact that he would also be happy to fuck you anytime, any place. You could be in the middle of an assassin's journey with him, and he would notice that you're feeling a little twitchy, and be like, there's a closet right here, and he'd just pull you into it, and you'd have a great time. He's happy being pegged. He'll tell you he wants to be pegged. He'll tell you what he wants. And you'll tell him what you want. And you don't. Sometimes you won't tell him what he wants, but you'll get it anyway.
Oh, the fucking dream.
Nice.
My number one is Zevran.
Yeah.
What?
Excellent.
Yes. This elf fucks.
Fuck yeah.
He's like if the Latin lover trope assassinated the stuffy elf trope. He's flirty and fun, and he respects the word no.
Yes.
Are you interested? Great. No strings attached after the first night. But if you had a great time, he'd love to see you again. Legolas could never.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, fuck. All right, Annie, this is it. You're number one.
All right, literally nobody is going to be surprised by this one. It's the Iron Bull!
Hey,
Big monster!
yeah.
Big monster!
Yeah.
Look, the Iron Bull has everything. Big height difference, giant horns, titties you could suffocate in, enormous clown pants, compelling accent, cool eye patch, will destroy anyone who fucks with his trans best friend, loves found family, which is the queerest goddamn thing, pansexual, gets sexually excited by dragons. He's perfectly happy to teach you everything you need to know about BDSM, thinks a lot about aftercare, calls you my heart after you get him a cool necklace, has a canonically gigantic schlong, and I cannot say how I know that. Let me ride this bull!
Yeah! Fuck! Yeah!
Big monster!
This is amazing.
Wait, that's it? You ranked these characters in your lists and that was that? No, I cannot accept that. How could that have brought the Chantry to the state of orgiastic hedonism in which it currently finds itself?
Wow. That's where we started digging into things. You see, all the data points were in, but before we revealed the true shape of the list, we had to question some of the choices we made first, in a segment called Let's Unpack That. All right, I'm going to start us off with a provocative question. Alistair, definitely into puppy play or probably into puppy play?
Probably.
Probably.
Yeah, because I think you have to deal with the fact that you're looking at Fereldans, and Bob, you may not know this, but Fereldans fucking love dogs.
Yeah.
They have a dog-based society. They love Mabari, which are like basically giant, even beefier pit bulls.
Yeah.
Who all have that big, goofy pit bull smile. They're good dogs.
They're good dogs.
And I think any Ferelden who is mildly into kink would be very amenable to puppy play.
I think he's a little new. So it's like it starts as a probably and then ends as a definitely.
You know, I can see that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, he like comes to the door with his collar in his mouth. He's like, "Is it time now? Is it time now? Is it time now?"
Yeah,
like,
and he's
baby.
like excited. He's thrilled for it.
That's really cute.
I know that, like, I didn't actually realize that that Loghain's name meant wolf until this this recording. So, with that being said, I think between Fenris, Loghain, and Solus, we should probably do some mini rankings of sad wolves.
Yeah.
Personally, I still gotta, I don't know. Between these three sad, grumpy wolves.
I mean, Fenris is on top for me.
Mine would be easily, everybody can probably read what mine would be, but mine would probably be Solus, then Loghain, then Fenris.
I ranked Loghain lower than Solus, but we did talk about that chiseled butt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually ranked him fuckability lower than Fenris, but I've kind of, both the chiseled butt and just me remembering his fucking prowess in bed before he leaves me cold has kind of inched him up more.
I might put Loghain above Fenris, but I think I still gotta put Solus on the bottom. But, like, out of the three of that, it's much closer than I would have thought it would be.
Yeah.
Out of those three, I really don't want to fuck Solus.
Yeah.
What I want
I'll fuck him
is,
for
and
everybody.
this is horrible. I am a monster. But Annie's maybe I'm not a monster. Maybe this is justice. Okay.
No, that's an Annie's.
Fuck Loghain.
Uh-huh. Oh,
And-
fuck, Mary, kill. Oh, shit.
hell yeah.
No. Fuck him.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, get into a situation with Solus where Solus is like, no, you're, like, part of my god situation. And, like, you're part of my world. And, like, draws me into it. And leave Loghain for Solus, thus crushing Loghain
shit.
yet
That would
more.
also, like, empower Solus since he's, like, the god of betrayal, too, right?
That's
yeah,
true.
yeah.
That is
So
one
that
of his
means, like, the
things.
fuck would be even better.
Oh no, I truly am a monster that I want to take this sad, sad man. But like he did a genocide. I feel
he did a
like
betrayal.
it's okay that I want to
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
ruin his life.
Yeah.
But I still definitely want to fuck him. And then, like, also though, because I think like the best thing you could possibly do, get into this situation with Solus, and then at a certain point in it, when Solus isn't paying attention, go back and fuck Loghain again.
God of betrayal likes being cucked? Is that...
You will
You
betray
know
the
what?
god
He
of
probably
betrayal.
does.
I don't know that he does, but I think he would definitely like have feelings about it in a way that was interesting.
I'm not sure that he would be into cucking, but I think he would very much understand the vibe. He'd be
Yeah.
like, yes, this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
I'll go make a cup of tea.
And like I think Loghain would be really interesting because Loghain would be like it would then in some ways make it even like not just fix the betrayal, but also like it would have a boost on it because it's like, no, I left you for a god and then I left that god to come back and fuck you again.
Ooh.
And then like do some like ego stroking there
Yeah,
for
you're
Loghain.
yo-yoing this poor man.
I know, I'm a monster.
How fun.
This is the dark fanfic.
On the dead wolf do not eat.
Dead wolf.
I don't know what I expected.
On the let's continue the like Solus bash. Me coming for Mac lovingly. Okay, you said you brought up Solus hanging out with lust demons. I think Solus hangs out with lust demons in the same way that an ornithologist hangs out with birds that are humping. Like it's very academic, and he's writing notes, but he's not joining them.
See, I think he's done that, but he also knows how to, like, feed and please these demons, basically. Because he talks about working with them like you would any other spirits. Like, I can't remember if that's, like, a romance-only thing, or if it, like, actually is a regular conversation. I always romance him at this point, so it's like, I don't know any other way. So, my vibe from that was that not only does he do the ornithologist thing, but he actually actively probably has fucked these demons before.
He fucking them birds. Oh no.
He's fucking them birds.
Fuck them birds.
And he has to be able to do it well, because you know no lust demon is going to put up with mediocre sex.
You know, that's honestly, I'm having some trouble with the scenario that Kit describes because what's happening to me now is my brain is basically like, oh, you know, Solus hangs out in the corner at the lust demon party, kind of in the same way that like Hades hates going to parties, so he just kind of hangs out in the corner, being the sad guy with all of his shitty brothers, and then I'm like, oh no, but I like that version of Hades though.
Yeah.
Oh no. Would I be interested in Solus if he was the shitty, boring one hanging out in the corner at the lust demon party? Oh no.
I'm glad I could bring this to you, Annie.
I still hate him a lot though. I can't do it.
We had a really interesting thing happen. Zevran was Annie and my number 10, and then Mac and Kit's number 1. And so like half of this panel has rated him as like mid-tier, and then the other half are like nothing could be better. 100% the best.
And you know, I never romanced him. It was really just because
I actually haven't either.
I also never have either. But
Oh wow.
yeah.
Like the problem is that like it's the same problem I have with Garrus Vicarian in Mass Effect, where every time I think I'm gonna romance somebody else, Alistair's already there, and he's making awkward little jokes.
Yeah.
And being kind of sad, and then he's awkward, and he likes you, but he doesn't know how to tell you. And, like, Zevran comes around, and he's like, hey, you DTF? You want to have, like, no strings attached DTF?
I'm like,
and,
nope,
like,
sorry.
You're just
and it's like,
what? No complications?
That's great,
What?
that's great, but Alistair's right over there, and look at him. He's wringing his hands. He picked me a flower.
It is just a Mass Effect problem, because I, like, Thane is, like, my catnip, but by then I'm always like, but Garrus, though.
But Garrus is right there.
Yeah, and I've already hung out with him so much, I'm attached.
Yeah, he's sad in this one, too.
Yeah.
Oh boy, see, if we're talking about the Mass Effect problem, oh god, Tali, she's like my Meryl. I just like that cute girl. she even beats the Garrus for me, but damn it.
She's so fucking cute.
So cute.
I'm looking on AO3. I just wanted to see what the predominant characters were, like who people wanted to write about. The top are Cullen is the first.
Oh, Yui.
Varric, Dorian, Solus, Iron Bull, and then Cassandra.
Really?
And, yeah.
That's a lot of dick.
Well, I mean AO3. Like there's a lot of it's a dick heavy environment. Well, Cassandra, Leliana, and then there's one I don't understand that just says female Lavalin.
Oh, that's the
elf.
That's if you play an elf, your last name is Lavalon. So that's probably mostly paired up with like Cullen, because then Cullen feels weird about elves. Or like Solus, because then Solus has a whole lot of elf exclusive dialogue about like how you don't understand your own history or whatever.
Oh, you know what? Clocked it. Yeah. Female Inquisitor Cullen Rutherford is the most popular relationship. Female Llewellyn and Solus is the next most popular.
What are the most popular?
I know my shit.
Yeah, you do. What are the most popular ships that don't involve like the self-insert protagonist?
The most popular Iron Bull and Dorian.
Oh,
that's legit.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah. Because they're
then,
like in the games, like if you don't hook up with either of them, they start hooking up, and like good for them, honestly.
Yeah, good for them, frankly. Honestly, it works.
That's like the only one that is, because Inquisitor is like is the self-insert, and then Hawk is the self-insert.
Yes.
So
Wow,
that's
not even Fenris
only.
Isabella.
Can we talk about for a second? Is anyone else so horny for Hawk's voice actor voice?
Yes.
Dude Hawk.
Voice actors are so good.
Both of them.
Both of them are so good.
Oh my gosh. I was like, can I just put Hawk? Dude Hawk on this list?
Honestly, like it's the fact that like the writing for Hawk in Dragon Age 2 has a snark button.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Snark button.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Hawk is a snarky piece of shit. They don't care. The world is falling all around them. They're losing everyone they love, and they're still being a snarky piece of shit to hide their feelings.
Yes. I mean, that's why he and Varric hit it off so quickly. It's great.
It's true.
So, we discussed Loghain's butt cheeks.
Mm-hmm.
Who has the best butt of all these people?
Oh, shit.
Isabella, what am I talking about? Let me look at her.
Isabella's got a fantastic ass. Honestly, I feel like Zevran probably's got like a tight little butt.
See, I imagine Zevran's flat.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. If he's supposed to be like kind of Latino, I don't know.
That's fair.
He's also pretty athletic.
Gotta rub my people's booties.
He's like he's got like an acrobat build. You know?
I can see that. Yeah.
All right, who's got the worst butt though?
Oh shit.
The worst butt?
Sarah?
I was gonna say Sarah's probably like pretty wiry.
Yeah. Sarah.
Corypheus.
Like, yeah, Corypheus probably has the most haunted
Maybe
butt.
It's like a frog
Corypheus has like a haunted butt.
You know what? I bet Varric's butt probably not that good. I bet it's a mediocre.
Varric
I bet it's a
badass.
middling.
I like that.
Oh, I hope so.
I mean, he might
Does
have
he?
a fat ass, but that's not necessarily like a well sculpted
That's
ass.
fair.
Oh,
He's
that
got a
doesn't
lot to
bother me.
hold on to.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I bet it's just
that's yummy.
fuzzy.
Oh,
Like a little
yeah.
peep.
Oh yeah. I love that he's like this short furry man. It's so fucking great.
He's a tiny bear. He's great.
He is a tiny bear. I love a tiny bear.
He flaunts it. It's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I am somebody who, when I have been given the option in the Dragon Age games, I play a dwarf because I like dwarves, and the dwarves do not get enough love, frankly, in terms of fuckability.
You're right. Dan and I were trying to remember. There's no romanceable dwarves.
No romanceable dwarves.
That's fucked up.
You can flirt a little with Scout Harding, and that's about it.
Dude.
In a DLC. A post-game DLC.
What the fuck?
They better fucking put that in the next one. They better put some dwarves in there.
They put Varric in 2 games.
I know. And they made him hung up on Bianca.
Bianca. Come on, man.
What do you think is the balance of subs to doms in the Dragon Age universe?
There are so many subs.
I think because so many of them are romanceable characters, they often have to take a lot of their emotional cues from the player character because that's how interactivity works.
Yeah.
And I think that bleeds into their characters a little, kind of like how Kit was talking about how everybody got walls in this one.
Yeah. Like, there are a few verses there, and there are a few doms, but I feel like subs weigh out the majority.
Not to mention, like, a lot of it is, like, fade to black sex when they don't necessarily talk about what it was like afterwards. It's not till Inquisition that you start to get, like, dialogue that is like, what was the flavor of your sexual experience while you weren't passed out? Which is, again, one of the reasons that you know that Iron Bull is, like, specifically into certain kinks.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's very pleasing. I like this a lot. I remember watching Neal play it and seeing the Iron Bull and going like, hello.
That one.
Like,
that
what
one.
What is going on here? It is a testament to my, attempt to be somewhat objective that I didn't just go like, well, no, top of the list, gotta be.
And you see, that was me. I was just like, you know what? Fuck being objective here.
No, I go back and forth. I think it's the objectivity is like as much as one can have about such a thing.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta treat yourself once in a while.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta treat yourself. Because, I mean, like, you also gotta be honest about, like, the fact that you can't rate a fuck somewhere, even though you're like, well, look, it would be good, but I can't. If it happened to me, it would not be good. Therefore, it's not good.
Did you all find it easier or more difficult to rank the fuckability of these characters when many of them explicitly have, like, conversations or at least get into more detail about how they fuck versus other mediums that we've talked about?
Oh, I found it easier. I don't know. I think after doing the tarot episode where I had to, like, create a whole person and then also decide how they fuck, that was, like, so much work for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I did not have access to that dialogue, so I didn't know, but I got the vibe off of all of them from their other dialogue, kind of what I was picking up and going like, okay, this seems like a lot of romance and a similar flavor of romance across the board for the most part.
I honestly found it more difficult because I couldn't just infer stuff because I was rubbing up against, like, okay, but what is it actually canonically like? What do they how do they canonically treat their partners? And I obviously I discarded a lot of that for the characters that I haven't personally romanced on this, but I thought it was almost more restrictive to know that I could just look up how somebody fucked. As opposed to like, when we just recorded one on Spider-Man characters and I was like, I don't know how these people bang, but here's how they might if in my little fanfics I'm writing.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons why I think we've strayed away it's one of the reasons why we haven't gone towards properties where there's a lot of sex that happens in them and you know a lot about their sex lives because it changes your ability to rank it in some way. Like if we did Mad Men, do you know what I mean? Like we know how a lot of them fuck. And I mean, they're all horrible people. So it's a weird thing whenever you get into characters where you canonically know. Or, yeah, within the canon but also sometimes, look, we're all from fandom here. Sometimes canon is wrong.
Agreed. It's true. It's true.
And like, Mac, this was your first time. Did you find that to be like a help or a hindrance when you were writing your stuff?
It was mildly a hindrance at first because I was like, I can't quite remember how this goes, but I swear they discussed this. I need to look this up. But then I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to go off memory, baby. And that was fine.
Nice.
You all right there, Seeker? You look a little hot under the collar.
What? No, I'm fine. It's just... Is it hot in here? It's probably just the armor, not the thoughts I'm having about Corypheus right now, but enough distractions. Things have been unpacked. What was the final shape of the list?
Let's get it.
Okay, and now we can turn our attention to the final rankings as they currently stand. So, our number 21, Meryl. Then, in a tie for 20th place, it's a three-way tie, Loghain, Anders, and Sarah.
Oh, what a bad trio.
That doesn't seem destined for happiness.
Imagine that orgy.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
It's bad. It's bad to look at.
Wow.
Number 17 is Cullen, 16, Corypheus, 15, Leliana, 14 is a tie. This is an interesting pairing. Aveline and Josephine.
Honestly, that would be really good. I'd read that fanfic.
Yeah, sure.
I think Josephine could work with Aveline's like awkwardness.
I think she could really bring Aveline out of her shell. That could be a lot of fun.
I think Strong Knight plus Josephine would be great.
Oh, Strong Knight Protect.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we have Fenris at number 12. And our median, interestingly, is Solus at number 11.
Oh, Mackenzie.
It's all Mac's fault.
Oh, Mackenzie.
That's really powerful. Number 10 is a tie between Morrigan and Vivian.
Oh.
Powerful
Dangerous.
standoff.
Oh,
Yeah.
they would hate each
They
other.
would hate each other so much.
They're so ideologically opposed. That is such a hate fuck.
The hate fuck would be so good.
Be deadly.
Yeah.
Yeah, there
Someone
would be.
Someone would die.
It would be like when Goku fights Cell or something, and they're like, "We need to go out to like the abandoned field where we can't hurt anyone." There would be an impact crater from their fucking.
Oh. Our number 8 is Cassandra. Number 7, Alistair. Number 6, Dorian. Number 5, Isabella. And then we have a little orgy at number 1.
Wow.
With a 4-way tie.
What?
Really?
Zevran, the Iron Bull, Flemeth, and Varric.
That would be an amazing orgy.
mercy. Oh, I am fanning myself.
Orgy
Oh,
would
mercy.
hit.
I'm so glad I was here for this first. It's never happened. Never a
Yeah.
4-way tie for first, right?
Yeah, we have never had that. That is a...
Fuck, what a 4-way tie, too.
What a 4-way tie. Wow.
Yeah, that is a very, that is sucking up all the sexual energy in the universe.
Yeah.
God, can I just sit down on that one? I don't even have to participate,
No.
but man, can I watch?
Can we buy tickets?
Yeah, right.
Can we buy tickets to that show? Cause damn.
And you know what? Actually, that is a very good segue to what is our final boner ranking of the universe overall. Because, looking at that particular number 1, I think puts an interesting light on how we would rank this universe in terms of fuckability from 1 to 10 boners, 10 being the most boners. How fuckable is the world of Dragon Age?
I think this was the second hottest universe to me. The first being vampires, which I gave 69. But they're literally the only no on this list for me is Corypheus, but I can understand why other people thirst for him. So just to piss off Chris Newton, I'm going to give this a 9.9.
He's going to love that for the next hard data.
Yeah, I think there are no's on this list for me, or there are like maybes and maybe nots. But I feel like because our lists were so disparate and like there were people that were just ping-ponging all over the list, I think it comes out to like there is something here for just about everybody. Yeah. As long as you're willing to go through the dialogue trees to get to it. So I think overall, I think it comes down to I think it's like a 9 for me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it, and I'm, like, even going beyond our list here and thinking of, like, all the other characters out there that we left off. Mm-hmm. Like, there are some no's, but overall, I would fuck the majority of the Dragon Age groups.
Y'all, there was a big honorable mentions list that got whittled down.
Yeah.
And so I think with that, I'm going to have to go for, like, 9.5.
Thank you. Thank you for...
You're welcome, Chris. Half a boner.
I feel like my ranking is probably a 5.
I mean, you're not. You haven't played the games. You're not as like true. Invested here, so that's totally fine.
Yeah. But it's also that as soon as y'all said it was mostly a universe of subs, I was like, oh, that's what I'm picking up on. I'm walking around this party holding my little leash looking for somebody to hand it to, and like nobody's biting, and I'm like, oh, what am I doing? What am I doing here? And everyone's like, do you have an extra leash? I want one too. And I'm like, no, my leash. Go get your own. Yeah, I think it is purely a dynamics problem with this particular universe for me.
That's legit.
And now, I think that might be what I learned here today, but I am curious. As we always do with this show, we try to really do something for the PBS money that perhaps someday we will earn. What did we learn here today?
I have mixed feelings on guardedness. Sometimes I like it. Sometimes it's a bit much. Maybe it's just one of those weird little. Maybe it's an ingredient. It's a flavor that mixes very differently. Very different alchemy depending on what other flavors are already in there.
I want to romance sad boys, but I don't want to fuck sad boys. That's what I learned.
I learned that I should start making more Ace headcanons.
Yes.
Yeah. You know what? I'm seconding that. Like, there's a meme that I really love, and your take on Varric made me think of it. You may have been the one who posted it in the Hard Choices Discord, but it's like a cake and somebody slicing the cake, and the little slice says sex and the rest of it says kink, and then it says ace people, and this hand comes in and takes the entire rest of the cake and leaves the little one that says sex. And it's just like, thank you. I will have all of this, but like, eh. And I was like, yeah, there is so much that is not sex, and it makes me go like, a lot of these characters would do better for me if sex wasn't on the table, frankly. Like, no, I don't, not really. But if you want to do other stuff, like, I feel like there's a lot we could do here.
Yeah, and I know it can like conflict a little with the premise of the show, but I feel like the asexual spectrum relationship with like horny sex is a very interesting one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know how to do something more ace focused and like ace exploratory on Hard Choices, but I definitely want to, because I think there's a rich fucking vein here that is unmined. I know, I'm mad with power. I'm like, there's a slice we haven't explored yet? Quick, we have to go there.
We have to go deeper.
I was just trying to think of what like the ace chant is. We're here. We're queer. And we're okay, actually. We'll just sit out. We'll just watch.
We're cool over here.
Well, I suppose I learned something here too. It's obvious now why literally everybody at the Chantry right now has been summoning lust demons and engaging in awkwardly staged softcore sex scenes ever since your podcast episode dropped. Clearly, your show is capable of awakening deep, dangerous impulses in whoever listens to it. Your podcast is nothing short of a menace to the law and order of Thedas itself. It is my responsibility as an agent of the Chantry to ensure that your show is shut down and you and your cohorts are brought to justice.
Uh-huh. But you've listened to it now.
Damn it, you're right. I can't think about duty and order right now. All I can think about is Loghain's juicy ass. I have a throbbing need that only AO3 can relieve. Very well. With whatever power remains vested in me by the Orlesian Chantry, I sentenced you and your co-hosts to plugging your other projects.
Huge thank you to Dan Mulkerin for writing that script whenever I was like, Dan, can you help me come up with some jokes? And Dan said, I have an idea. And then said, look, I wrote a whole thing. You don't have to use it.
This has been fascinating to find out the little story that's been playing out here.
Yeah. And that brings us to plugs. All right. Kit, I would like to have you go first because your plug is one of the easiest ones to do and also one of the most interesting.
My plug? You mean where I tell people that I don't exist but on the internet, but actually I do, and you have to go fucking find me yourself? And it's
yes.
All right, yeah, it's really not that hard. Just walk outside.
Okay.
See a bird.
Okay.
Listen closely to the notes between the notes of their song.
Oh, fuck.
And it'll carefully spell out my handle. My handle is the same on every social. But if you just listen to that bird. And even if you don't figure it out, you just listen to a bird. Be grateful that you're on this fucking planet. And you can do that.
Any birds in particular you'd recommend?
Oh my gosh. If you can find a grosbeak, they have the sweetest little cheep, very polite little birds. They look like a big ass finch, but very polite little voice.
Okay. All right. That's it from Kit. Listen to birds, but if you can pick your bird, grosbeak.
Good bird.
All right, Mackenzie and Annie, do you want to co-plug?
I'll let Annie go because most things she's on, I'm on.
Do it.
Yeah, Mackenzie and I are co-creators of a lot of big sparkly bullshit.
Yeah.
I'll do our together thing first, and then I'll do my personal plug. But Mackenzie and I are co-hosts on Crooked Russian Cam, which is host to several different weird little shows. One of them is Gem Jammer, which is an actual play Spelljammer podcast with lots of gays in space, lots of glitter, lots of monster boyfriends, lots of lizard girlfriends. It's good shit. We also do Date Me Dammit, which is an Otome Let's Play series on YouTube where Mackenzie has so many date sims on hand at all times.
About 250.
Gosh, there's so...
Oh, goddamn.
There's so many.
It's great. And so she just finds the perfect trash for us to sort of root around in, and we have a great time finding people to try and romance, but maybe not. Maybe we're not very good at it. But it is such a fun time to play Otomes together. And then our other major podcast is I Will Fight You, which is kind of a sister podcast in vibes to Hard Choices, where we just love all of the glittery trash media. We talk about things that just fascinate us. Like Mackenzie has some great educational episodes about, like, you've done one on poetry. What
James Joyce?
Yeah,
James Joyce poetry.
We can't talk about James Joyce because I low-key think it's hot. But
we talk about movies we love sometimes. I have had an extended lecture about how much I hate the character of Wilbur Weston in the newspaper soap opera comic strip Mary Worth.
Oh my fucking god.
It is a lot of fun going through just stuff that we are fascinated by, things we not necessarily hate, but that we find so interesting. Like really weird Avatar The Last Airbender fan comics.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I love I Will Fight You. It's definitely one of my favorite things.
Hell yeah.
If you want to find me personally, though, I'm kind of on Twitter. I'm kind of on Blue Sky. I'm trying a few things out, but you can find me at Anniezard, ANNIEZARD, wherever you download your internets.
And I'm the creator and ruler of the Hard Choices Boner Kingdom. Please take a complimentary Hitachi magic wand on your way in since you're here now.
Oh, wait, Mackenzie, where are you on the internet? Do you want to plug yourself?
Yeah, do it.
I'm technically on Twitter, mostly just retweeting things. I don't like Twitter much, but I'm there. I'm MAQUEKENZIE. Or you can go to my Ko-fi and pay me to write you shitty smut.
Yeah.
Mackenzie writes the best shitty smut.
Oh, wow.
I love it.
Yes.
It's what are your going rates?
I believe right now it's just like pay me $50 and I'll write you a 5-page short story.
Or something
like
that's
that.
so good.
Oh, wow.
I honestly can't remember what my rates are.
I think you had it was what was it, $10, $20 for 500 words or something?
It's $20 for like 500 words, and then if you pay me like $50, I will actually write you a 5-page story.
Damn.
If you give me your characters, I can't promise they'll act correctly. Like, I can't promise their attitude will be great, but I will make it as shitty as possible. You're welcome.
That is gorgeous.
As someone who is a repeat customer, perfect. Great for your Dungeons and Dragons OCs, frankly.
Oh, that's super compelling. I love this. All right. I gotta plug some shit because, baby, we are going to Rose City Comic-Con.
Yeah!
Yeah! That is the Portland, Oregon Comic-Con, and it's taking place September 22nd through the 24th. Hard Choices is actually, for reals, doing a live show at a pretty fucking big con. Now I just found out about this yesterday in my time, so forgive me for still being all over the goddamn map. Guess who's gonna be on this live show panel taking place at Rose City Comic-Con September 22nd through the 24th? Me, the person talking right now, Annie Craton. Isn't that right, Annie?
That's me. I'm so excited to drive down from the Seattle area for this nonsense.
Yeah! And we got some other Pacific Northwest folks. We got Chris Newton and we got Hub. And the topic is 80s cartoon icons. Your Skeletor, your Cobra Commander, your Starscream. It could be Optimus Prime, but real talk, like Starscream has my attention. Substantial little Ratman energy there, I feel like.
Listen, Mackenzie and I did a whole ass podcast about Gem and the holograms.
Yeah.
I got Gem opinions.
Yeah.
Yeah. We are going to have one night stand gift baggies for the people who come to the panel early. We are giving out Hard Choices condoms to everyone who comes to the panel.
Oh my God, Bob.
Yes, this is happening. As soon as we know when it is, we will absolutely make that information available on all the social media accounts that I have now set up.
Wow.
Like a grown-up. I know, it was a real disaster. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all of it. If you find me on TikTok, any of them, please help me. I don't know what a TikTok is. At Hard Choices Pod, wherever you get your social media, except Facebook, because Facebook is weird.
Can't wait for the Chinese government to shake their head in disappointment at us.
Yeah, pretty much. So, you know what? Come to Portland. Come meet me and high five and let me give you a condom.
Maybe bring us donuts, too.
Oh, fuck. Look, I'll be bringing donuts. Are you kidding? I'm not going to be... I will never be more than 5 feet from a fucking donut while I am in that city.
I'm holding you to that.
Yeah, it's going to be a real problem for, like, probably my blood sugar, probably, like, I'm going to have a lot of highs and crashes. It's going to... A donut-based diet while I'm in Portland.
I'm not going to be in the panel, but I'm going to try very, very hard to attend as well. So you might catch me there.
My cool niece is in town, so unfortunately I can't go with Annie to come visit everybody.
I tried. Her cool niece, though.
My cool niece is
Yeah,
cool.
a cool niece.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Look, maybe future panels? Who knows? Who the fuck knows?
Who knows?
This is... I don't know what's going to happen anymore. Clearly, reality has come unhinged. We are doing a panel at Rose City Comic-Con.
Bob was not prepared for this at all.
No, I was 100% not prepared for this. I thought I had submitted this on a personal, like, well, look, can they turn me away for asking? And then they took me up on it. So here we are. Come to Portland, Oregon at Rose City Comic-Con, September 22nd through the 24th. There will definitely be a meetup of some kind as we get the pieces in place. So if you're coming, hit me up and let me know. There's also, if you're like, social media is a terror to me and I do not go there. That's okay. hardchoicespod@gmail.com. Let me know. We'll figure it out. I just want to make sure that everybody is in the loop for meetup stuff. But yeah, this is happening. Hard Choices is going to Rose City Comic-Con, September 22nd through the 24th. And thank all of you for coming and doing this with me, for leading me by the hand through this other BioWare universe that is the, swords and sorcery one to the space and shooty one.
It's been a pleasure, Bob, to find out that I have trash taste.
But all of our trash boys are so wonderful, though.
Are all my trash boys wonderful, Annie?
No.
You just fuck your trash wolf in the fade.
This is supposed to be a happy place.
And I think if you need the rest of us anytime in the near future, you can probably hit up Zevran, the Iron Bull, Flemeth, and Varric, because we will be hanging out with them.
Yeah.
Desperately trying to get in on this action, even if it's just a spectator.
Yeah.
We're going to be busy.
We're going to be busy.
Yeah. We got plans. So have a great, whenever this is, and stay hard. Bye.
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 Meow.
This has been Hard Choices. If you want to show your support and get even more goofs from behind the scenes, visit patreon.com/hard choices and become a patron. You'll get exclusive voting rights and participation in every weird new thing we do. If you like the show, please consider leaving a 5-star rating and review on the podcatcher of your choice. It shows people what's fun about the show and makes it easier for others to find it too. This episode produced by Dan Mulkerin. Go listen to Garden Plots with Skeletor. He's a great Skeletor. Our theme song is Funk Me by Soundroll. This piece and all music used in this production is licensed through Upbeat. You can find details in our show notes and listen to more great tunes at upbeat.io, spelled UPPBEAT.io. The Hard Choices logo is designed by Claire Mulkerin. If you'd like to get into touch with us, look for the Smash Fiction Fan Faction on Facebook and join the conversation. Thank you so much for listening and hanging out with us. You're a peach!